What's going on, Port fans? Welcome back to another video on my channel. Today we're going to review Port Adelaide's JLT clash against North Melbourne that happened at Alberton Oval on Saturday. It was a pretty high scoring affair, to say the least. Pretty much a lot of back and forth going on around the ground. Definitely a great sight to see for the 6,500 people that were there on the day. So a great day for Port Adelaide and down at Alberton. So let's get stuck into this review and see who stood out and what was impressive and what is needed to improve on come round one in 2 weeks' time.
He's backing himself in to get the rehab right and the recovery right. And here's one to chase. Oh, Butters! A budding superstar!
So let's start with the big news out of Alberton that happened on Saturday, which Paddy Ryder with a depressed fracture in his cheekbone. By the looks of it, he should be okay for round one, as Kenny said in his press conference. There is some doubt behind him, considering he does have to have a little bit of surgery just to fix that up and pop that out. So that could be a pretty significant thing come round one, but at this stage it looks like he will play, so that's a good thing to come out. Jared Leonard was the other one that got injured. He has a medial ligament injury, so he may miss a couple of weeks. Very much in doubt for round one, but it could be rounds 2 or 3. So unfortunate for Jared, but at least he will be in contention for still the early part of the season. One of the key things, and onto a more positive key thing that happened on Saturday, was the rise of the pig. Tom Rockcliffe with his 42 touches on Saturday, and his disposal efficiency, I think around 80%, which was marvellous considering the amount of disposals he had. Also 17 marks and 2 goals to go with that. Very much a pig performance by him, and that's great to see with 180 fantasy points. And you know, if he's performing like that, then he's keeping players like Robbie Gray and Zach Butters down forward, who was another one that was very, very impressive once again, with a couple of very nice goals, getting a few touches as well. And God, he's good. I really like the look of him, and he's going to be one of those players that just flies under the radar a bit more. And I said on the weekend that he's around $34 for the Rising Star. I'd definitely be getting on that if I was a betting man, because he has certainly shown and is impressing a lot of the faithful, and also key media personnel as well. Someone like Kane Corns, David King as well. So that's a lot of positive things to come out with Zach Butters. And Connor Rosie showed a few more things on the weekend as well, which was good. Xavier Dursman with his pace and speed, helping with transition from the half back line. He did a few great things, but a few things as well that will be a little bit questionable for the Alberton faithful, more so because I did see a couple of times he did turn over the ball, and he did, he didn't really think things through properly, and he's very, very fast. That's probably the key thing. That one play in the second quarter where they transitioned from the half-back line and came all the way through with Pepper, Ebert all linking up together and ending up with Dursma, who hit Robbie Gray lace out on a lead 40 metres down the track. That is an exciting prospect to look forward to, and that's what we've been screaming out for the last couple of years, is quick transition play that's effective, and we're hitting targets inside 50, something that didn't happen last year. And I think, coming into this year with the 666 rule, which again came into effect on the weekend, it was very, you could see in the first quarter, goal, 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 and then North Melbourne, I think 5 or 6 in a row. I was a little bit worried, we'll be honest, when they started kicking 5 6 in a row. I was like, uh-oh, the defence is leaking again. I don't like this. Same thing happened against Adelaide. But we turned it around, and North Melbourne did score 43 points from centre clearances, which is a little bit of a worry from our perspective, especially if this 6-6 rule is going to be playing a massive effect on the game, then we're going to have to try and control that and maybe a bit more defensive when we're leaking so many goals. But in saying that, we controlled the footy a lot more. We had so many more effective kicks as well, with 191 compared to 122. We were a lot more direct with our play as well, and especially our transition. That was the one thing for me. I did mention it in the first JLT that it was really impressive, but I think the heat and just the overall performance from the Crows as well really slowed us down a bit more, and we couldn't get as much free-flowing footy. Whereas against North on the weekend, we definitely were allowed to utilise the space a bit more and really be a bit more effective and smart going forward, which is something we needed to improve on this off-season. And I think the promising signs is a lot more positive than last year, and it's the stuff that's promising is the stuff we've been calling out for. The one key thing I wanted to take out from Saturday as well is Travis Boak. We all know that I love Travis Boak, he's my favourite player, but I think he's back to his all-Australian midfield best. Like 27 touches at 75% efficiency, I'm pretty sure, which is way more than 59% last week, so definitely improved. That goal in the second quarter and the salute to the crowd, where he turned around Sean Atley and just pelted one from 50 metres to straight through the middle. That's sensational play, and he looks great, back to his best, and a lot more Boak in the midfield is going to make me, and I think a lot more Port Adelaide fans, very happy people. The other thing as well that did happen on the weekend was the return of Jasper Pittard and Jared Polek. A lot of jeers for both of those players. Polek was, he showed why that, he's a very impressive player. He's got his pace, he's got his run, and he's going to be one of those players that are going to be very effective with this new 6-6-6 rule. Jasper Pittard was a bit more off, didn't like his game as much, and a couple of turnovers here there, typical Jasper Pittard game. And that haircut, Jasper, mate, come on. I don't know what that is. But anyway, I mean, good luck to both of those players. They're going to be, I think they'll still play an important part to North Melbourne's season. And I think North, they're going to go a long way this year. They'll be very impressive in the finals. I've got them 8th along with Port in 7th. So these two teams will be pretty similar come the end of 2019. So it was a good hit out for the boys, and I think there's a lot of promising signs. Obviously it's a JLT, so you can't take too much away from it again, but you can definitely look at the positives and really reflect on those. The negatives are always going to be there, and I think our negatives are always going to be the same. As long as we can nullify the negatives a bit more each week, then I think we're definitely going to be a very, very competitive side, and I really look forward to seeing what we can do in round 1 come 2 weeks' time against Melbourne. One last thing before I let you guys go is the 50-metre rule. What is that? I don't understand what the 50-metre rule is. Like, you're running, you get the 50, and then you got to give them space, and they're allowed to sprint to the 50-metre mark where the umpire's gone to, and they can play on straight away. But you cannot interfere as they're moving along, so they can play straight away. And it happened on a few times on the weekend, and I'm just not exactly sure that AFL knew what's happening. I know they're trying to move the ball, move the game on as quickly as possible, but at the same time, it's a 50-metre penalty. It's not going to be too much of an effective movement if, this whole thing where the player's running behind him trying to get to the mark. It's too confusing, and a lot of people, I think they're just trying to make this all-out attack, and it's, in some instances you can punish the team for a 50-metre penalty, but at the same time give them a chance to at least defend their opportunity, and that's going to be a very, very big talking point come round 1, 2, 3 and 4. It's going to be a very, very, very difficult rule to be 100% accurate on, and it's probably one rule that the AFL have to put their head up and say, we got this wrong. It's not going to affect the game. It's just going to be too hard to umpire. It's going to be too hard to predict exactly what's a good version of the rule, what's a bad version of the rule, and it's just going to be too confusing for the fans most of all. But nonetheless, it was a very good hit out on the weekend. Alberton was rocking. It was a beautiful day, and a win's a win, and no matter if it's an internal trial, under 23s, JLT, Port Adelaide won, and I'm a very happy man. So this gets me excited going into round 1. Got a lot of promising signs with the youngsters. Robbie Gray looked great as well. Paddy Ryder should be okay. And, Scott Lysette was great too on the weekend. His ruck work was fantastic when Ryder went forward. So a lot of promising signs to look forward to, Port fans. And who knows, round 1, we could do anything. So that ends this review for the JLT game against North Melbourne. I really appreciate all the support and a lot of the views lately. It's been sensational. I'm actually feeling glad to do a review this week, so that's always nice. So hit the subscribe button if you're new for plenty more Port Adelaide content coming your way, ready for round 1, all through the season, and also in the off-season as well to get your Port Adelaide fix. And yeah, that's it. Thank you very much for watching, Port fans. My name is Anthony, and as always, can't bet.